We are here at Bord Bia's meat marketing seminar, and there's definitely a feeling of optimism after a strong performance for the industry in 2017. Meat accounted for 30% of all Irish food exports. That's worth 3.8 billion euros, the highest figure ever recorded. Of course, the lion's share of that was for beef, but there's also an increase in the value of sheep meat, pig meat, and poultry exported all over the world. This is expected to continue this year, and of course beef again will be the largest exporter. There's an expectation that global demand will outstrip supply, and at the same time the Irish kill will increase, but more modestly than last year, so a steady market for Irish farmers here. There's also good prospects for other sectors, and the common denominator between all of those is a very strong demand, an increasing demand in China. One example that was discussed today was that of Danish Crown, the pork processor in Denmark that got access to 466 million new consumers with just one deal with a Chinese online shopping website. To discuss this in more detail, let's join the Irish Farmers Journal's market specialist, Phelim, who talked to some of the participants in today's event.
Our meat exports now representing 30% of total food and drink exports, and with growth in every single sector across the meat industry. So we're very happy with that.
I suppose in the Bord Bia context, I know you're a broad church and you cover a multitude of products, but yet we look at it, I suppose, from a farming perspective, and we look at the two big contributors from the farming sector are the beef and the lamb sector. Are you satisfied that, and how do you feel that you've given Irish farmers real value for money in 2017 and in your work stream that's planned ahead for 2018?
We've taken a very strategic approach to our support of the industry, and as we always do. But I guess when you look at the challenges that faced this industry in 2017, you had a backdrop of Brexit, you had challenges on every single element of that, yet we're coming out of that with 5% increase in our beef exports, with 12% increase in our lamb exports, just to revert to those two particular categories.
The market demand has been very good right across Europe this year, and certainly we would have felt there was periods within the year there where we were slipping behind the European average, that we should have been priced better at those particular times. Yes, at the final end of the year we were 30 cent a kilo up on where we were previously in 2016, but we would feel that the market fully justified that, and in fact I would feel that there was more to be had in the marketplace, and we're looking to drive it on now for 18.
Just listening again in terms of the numbers, they expect that there'll be not as big an increase in numbers this year as there was last year, but that there will be an extra few thousand. Are you confident that the marketplace will carry those and handle those in 2018 the way that it did in 2017?
Yeah, well, on top of the extra 30 to 50,000 that we saw inside was predicted to come, we've also seen inside this morning there where the markets are going to be stronger. Consumption across Europe is also going to be stronger. Consumption in the UK, demand in the UK is going to be up as well, 1.2%. So there is real opportunity here for Ireland to fill those holes and to return a decent price to beef finishers.
Looking at the Department of Agriculture's AIM database, and especially the numbers of animals coming on stream as a result of dairy expansion in recent years, particularly some additional Angus and Hereford animals there coming off the dairy herd, and also as a result of relatively low live cattle exports, I suppose in 2016, we are seeing some additional supplies. So not as big of an increase as we saw in 2017, where we saw that additional 100,000. We're more likely going to be looking at an increase of maybe an additional 50,000, which would bring us up to around 1.8 million. Again, Phelim, it's a long time since we slaughtered 1.8 million cattle, but all indications are, that the market is in a good balance currently anyway, and that demand is robust.
I think, yes, we were fortunate that the market came right at the right time, just as Irish numbers moved up and an opportunity arose. And as I said, I think we did a good job at exploiting those opportunities when you see prices where they finished in December 2017 as against 16, for example.
And I suppose now, looking ahead to 2018, and again, it's projected that there'll be a smaller increase this time in numbers, but nonetheless an increase. There's going to be no lessening on the supply side. Are you confident, are you optimistic that the industry will handle those, that the international markets are sufficiently robust that we can maintain and indeed perhaps even grow prices further into 2018?
Well, as always, obviously I haven't got the crystal ball in front of me, but I would say to you that definitely, based on what we heard here today at the Bord Bia seminar, from people who are very much at the face of marketing and trending and so on, that the fundamentals are certainly very sound at this stage. We all know, and we can recall events in the past, be it mad cow's disease or whatever, that jumps out of the wardrobe on top of us unexpectedly. But if we don't have any skeletons like that, basically the year does look reasonable.
List, you can see others there, South Korea, the US.
In many ways, whilst we don't have access into China at present moment, I think indirectly we're getting the benefit of what China is doing in the global sheep meat market. And to explain what that means is that more product is being taken from New Zealand and Australia and going into the Chinese market, which means, and we've seen that through the EU New Zealand quota, New Zealand, I think it's the lowest ever we've seen. They've only filled the quota up to about 63%. So the fact that China, we don't have direct access, indirectly we are getting the benefit of what's happening there.
Final thought then, Declan, for 2018 and Irish sheep farmers, what's the prospects hold for them?
I think it was certainly an interesting period we're going into, in terms of we're going to sort of see, I predict, an increase in the national flock. The predictions for the hogget season, you know, what's in our favour is Easter's arriving early this year, it's the 1st of April. Ramadan will kick off there 6 weeks after. So that should sort of drive and be good incentives. In terms of the spring lamb crop, still early days in terms of lambing is yet to happen, but if there's a good sort of I suppose element to take out from what we're hearing from 2017 is that we are able to manage capacity. Managing that 10-year high of 2.95 million sheep is an indication that we're capable. We have the appetite and the hunger to go out and get those markets.
So much of the work has been going on building up markets over years, getting this whole quality perspective and selling in the premium range for Irish beef, and that is coming home to roost in a very positive manner. So I think we have to look that way forward positively to 2018 as well.
And in spite of sterling weakening further in 2017, we've managed to hold our share in the UK market?
Well, actually, one thing I noticed was how the sterling was having a negative impact at the beginning of 2017, which is a bit what you referred to a moment ago. We seem to recover from that in the second half of the year, and I very, very much hope that that will be what continues. And we're very much saying that while we will look, as was referred to this morning, at lots of possibilities on export markets, that for us, our British customers are key to us. They are very, very important customers and will continue to be, and that's the way we look at it, and we are very positive about that side of the business.
I think certainly if you look around Asia, particularly Southeast Asia, obviously we're all very familiar with China in terms of the potential that's there. I think certainly Southeast Asia would seem to present opportunities, and likewise the likes of Japan and South Korea as well. When we were there in November on a ministerial trade mission, it was very obvious that what you're seeing in markets like Japan and Korea is an emerging premium segment as well. So while a lot of these markets can be very valuable from an offal or a byproduct point of view, there are also niches emerging very much in that premium segment that are very high value. I suppose what we need to figure out a little bit more are these segments that Ireland can really avail of over a period of time, and that in those markets it is likely to be an investment of time before you really fully understand those.